Next on deck with Tim Black.
That he wants to do something for the dreamers. He has also talked about the need for people to come in to the country to do certain kinds of things.
I want black people in it. I'm tired of black people saying, Tim, this is not our conversation. Tim, this is not our fight. I want it to become our fight. Black children need this. We need STEM training for our kids. Abby Phillips.
That he wants immigration reform, that he wants to do something for the dreamers. He has also talked about the need for people to come in to the country to do certain kinds of things. And then you have these other new supporters of Donald Trump who understand that if you're just recruiting like the top 0.1% of the best and most talented, say engineers from around the world, that's probably a good thing. I think where there's great alignment is on the need to eliminate the fraud in the program. And I think some of these visa programs are being used to bring people in for no other reason than to displace American workers and to do things more cheaply. So I think the common ground and the way forward is bring in the people who are the GOATs, of engineering from around the world. Bring those people here and then focus on American workers, American students for everything else. And that would be a good blend of how I think this is going to move forward.
That might be the case, but Laura Loomer is saying don't bring Indians into America. I mean, she's pretty clear about what she's doing.
I don't know if she's watched many Bollywood movies, but not only are they very good, but they're actually a lot more modest than Hollywood films. So that comment was a little bit off base, but...
What's that got to do with anything? What's this guy talking about? Nah. People that are questioning what's going on with that immigration, people that are questioning H1B visas, those people are not all Laura Loomers. Laura Loomer's a very extreme stance, which is, I don't want no Indians coming in the country. Now, that's not the conversation. That's not the debate. The debate is, do we bring in, does the H1B visas, does that hurt American workers? I'd also add, if you say, hey, we need these specialized people for the O1 visas, the people with the advanced degrees, the people that are the 0.1% of educated people in certain disciplines such as engineering, computer engineering, for instance. We want them to come in the country. Meanwhile, what we're going to do is we're going to develop a program here in the United States where we're going to take young people and we're going to start a program that's going to prepare them to fulfill those positions domestically. Yeah, America has the capability, if it really wanted to train American people, to train American youth, to take students and walk them through the process, to give their families the wraparound support that will be necessary to have those children grow to be in those types of positions. It's very possible. Folks, I just want to say, let's cut through the nonsense. What good is it having a country that they say is one of the richest countries that have ever existed on the globe? And then when it comes to education, we got to go other places because the education system does not give the type of support that's necessary to help our children get to where they need to go. What do we do now, Tim? Okay, fine. Commit to a program that's going to train the next generation now. And we're going to have some black people put in that. I want black people in it. I'm tired of black people saying, Tim, this is not our conversation. Tim, this is not our fight. I want it to become our fight. Black children need this. We need STEM training for our kids. Science, technology, math, engineering, math. If they're focusing on it, fine, let's focus on it. I'm not one of the people that say, oh, I'm black, I don't need to know about this. That's between them. No. You don't have to watch. You don't have to be concerned. This ain't about you. It's about your children. You work at Amazon, dog. This ain't about you. You drive Uber or Lyft. This ain't about you. I make videos. I got a small media company. It's so small. When people say, Tim Black, you're a small business person, I say, I'm a small business person. Maybe I couldn't hear you. I'm a small business person. Huh? Why are you speaking so low? Because I got to whisper it, because that's how small my company is. So when I'm talking about this, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about my son, Chase. I'm talking about my granddaughters, Nailani and Nadia and Naomi. Not talking about me. This ain't about you. Okay, so let's keep going. So they had this conversation, it's back and forth and back. And right now, it's like they're going after Elon Musk and they're going after Vivek because they said, hey, we need to compete today. We need to go in and get these people. But they're not talking about putting together the program that I just suggested. In fact, I didn't get that from anyone. I'm not watching anyone's content to see what they're coming up with. What's an idea? No, it ain't rocket science. I believe that most of them, the MAGA people that are pissed off right now, most of the regular American citizens who are not MAGA, who when they hear this, who have an obvious and immediate reaction to it, some of them are going to feel the way I do. And to them, I want them to consider this. Why can't we have a program here that prepares our kids to tackle this?
The H1B very well, and it's something that I frankly use, and I shouldn't be allowed to use. We shouldn't have it. Very, very bad for workers. And second of all, I think it's very important to say, well, I'm a businessman, and I have to do what I have to do, and it's sitting there waiting for you, but it's very bad. It's very bad for business in terms of, it's very bad for our workers, and it's unfair for our workers, and we should end it.
It seemed very clear. That was him in a debate back in 2016. He looks all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. He had some rose color in his cheeks. That was a young Donald Trump. He was only like 70. But yeah, here's the point, guys. He didn't seem like he was, hedging at all.
Right now, widespread abuse in our immigration system is allowing American workers of all backgrounds to be replaced by workers brought in from other countries to fill the same job for sometimes less pay. This will stop. American workers have long called for reforms to end these visa abuses, and today their calls are being answered for the first time.
But what I want to do and what I will do is you graduate from a college, I think you should get automatically as part of your diploma a green card to be able to stay in this country. And that includes junior colleges too. Anybody graduates from a college, you go in there for 2 years or 4 years. If you graduate or you get a doctorate degree from a college, you should be able to stay in this country. And you know more stories than I do, but I know of stories where people graduated from a top college or from a college, and they desperately wanted to stay here. They had a plan for a company, a concept, and they can't. They go back to India, they go back to China, they do the same basic company in those places, and they become multi-billionaires employing thousands and thousands of people, and it could have been done here. And a bigger example is you need a pool of people to work for your companies. You have great companies, and they have to be smart people. Not everybody can be less than smart. You need brilliant people. And we force the brilliant people, the people that graduate from college, the people that are number one in their class from the best colleges, you have to be able to recruit these people and keep the people. It was such a big deal. Somebody graduates at the top of the class. They can't even make a deal with the company because they don't think they're going to be able to stay in the country. That is going to end on day one.
Okay. I guess that was Trump when he was campaigning to run before this election. So that's not even now. I don't know how current this is. But I can tell you, I don't have a clip of him speaking to this, but what I can tell you is he's in agreement with Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk as far as he also wants to promote and expand the H1B visa opportunities. Currently, 65,000 positions or 65,000 slots. And there's 25,000 slots for O1 visas. There are people that are, critical of this. They say, well, you know what? Elon Musk and Vivek, they just want cheap labor that they can exploit. And you bring in this great talent from other countries, but then you get to underpay them for that same ability, that same expertise. You have to pay 20, 30% more to an American citizen. Folks, so we really think that these corporations, these contractors, we don't think that they would game the system? When America brings in low-skilled workers, for instance, low-skilled workers to work in our plants and work in our fields, we say, well, we got America's workers who could do the job, but Americans don't want these jobs. Well, that's the case. Who was doing them before those people were here? Yeah, before you bring in 10 million folks, who was working in our plants? Who was working at Tyson's and Holly Farms, and all the other Smithfield? Who was working there? Americans were working there. But see, that's the hustle. They use their media machine to put the word out that Americans don't want certain types of jobs. Here goes something you may not know. You're lied to a lot. You're lied to by your media. They're telling you that every white person has a mansion and a yacht. Now, I want you to know, because I've been around the country, not the entire country, but I've been in a few places I don't think I would have normally been to. I went to Portland, Oregon. There was a lot of homeless people in Portland, Oregon. I had no idea they had such a drug problem, a homeless problem, poor people problem. I went to Salt Lake City, Utah. Yep, I went to Salt Lake City, Utah. I had no idea how many poor-ass white people there were in Salt Lake City, Utah. It didn't look like Baltimore, but it did look like Baltimore. What I'm trying to tell you is that there are poor people all over this country. We got people that are willing to do anything for any amount of money to live indoors. Okay? So, but they are able to sell us on this BS. We're only doing this because we have to, because the Americans won't do the job. Americans are above working in factories. What? Americans are above working construction jobs. What? There are people that believe this. Mostly goofy liberals. I'm telling you, man, we're gonna get to a class war. Not a civil war, Goofy, a class war. They do the same thing with the upper echelon technology positions. They say, oh, we can't get Americans to fill these jobs because they're not qualified. They too slow. They don't take school seriously. They're like Screech and the other guy from Saved by the Bell. And they don't value education. Nah, because the education in their country is different than the education in this country. Here it costs more. It costs an arm, a leg, and half of your thigh to go to school. In America, our education system is so expensive that some of the people, I personally know people who didn't go to college, not because they couldn't have learned something, not because they weren't interested, but because they didn't want to run their parents' debt up. And in some families, they just couldn't afford it. They couldn't afford to send their kids. And then we have people that do have the credentials. We have kids, we have young people, older people, we have people with the credentials, but who do you think the employer picks? Who do you think they pick when they can pick somebody and pay them less? If you got any common sense, you already know the answer to this question. But who do you think? You think that these employers of these major corporations would rather pay more for the same credentials? So all I want people to realize is it's a hustle. Recognize you're being hustled. Recognize while we're sitting back and we're laughing and we're going, ha ha ha, look at the white people being talked down to by Vivek and by Elon Musk. They're not saying anything different. Elon and Vivek aren't saying anything different than the propaganda that's pushed out by corporate media. You know, all I'm saying is these corporations had the same attitude. They use this as an excuse to continue the system of undereducating and then overlooking. Last point. And I told one of my members I was going to bring this up. One of my members said, Tim Black, I'm a person with a couple of degrees in the technology field. They said there are positions that I've been up for that ended up not getting. Instead, they opted to hire someone with an H1B visa. I know for a fact, Tim, that's why I was passed over. I did not get that opportunity because they would rather pay somebody less than employ me, the black guy. People say they understand what's going on in this country. We got liberals that keep saying they understand the discrimination. They want to feed off of black people. They want to keep on feeding us and bigging us up with how America treats black people. They want to continue to run on it. We got Gavin Newsom pretending to give a shit. We got all these people. We got Kamala Harris. Everybody pretends like they care about black situations. Okay? They all pretend this. But when it comes down to it, where are they on this issue, for instance? This is where they're supposed to put some skin in the game. How much skin in the game do they really put in? None. Zero. They put some talk in the game. They manipulate. The Democratic Party should be fighting to implement programs that would train up, support our students, our people, our kids, our young people, our older people, whoever wants it to learn to be suitable for these positions. This did not happen last week. This is not a new problem. It's been going on at least since the 90s, the 80s. Where are the programs that were mitigating this? Why does this problem still exist? People got to wake up and realize anything that's able to fester for a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, that ain't an accident. That's not something wrong with the system. That's the system operating as it's designed. That is an intentional dereliction, benign neglect. It's part of the game. It's part of the hustle. Ain't nothing broke. It's the way they want it to be. And the reason why you don't have Jasmine Crockett out here raising the roof on it, because it wouldn't be good for her career. The reason why you ain't got AOC raising the roof on it, because it's not good for her career. A financial position could be somewhat improved if more black students are able to get these engineering positions. And we need to, in a country that has the money, and we have money to fund Ukraine, and we got the money to send to Israel, and we got the money to fund all these other wars. We stayed in Afghanistan for a decade. We got money for all these things. Ugly ass Tesla car. Got the money for all this, the space war. Got the money for all this, right? We should have the money to put systems in place to give our kids a shot in the jobs of tomorrow. Anybody that doesn't support that, anybody who's talking about some other shit when it comes to this topic are not addressing really what's important. I'm not saying that Trump is right or wrong. I'm saying this is an opportunity for us to light a fire under Trump. Just get here. I've been waiting for your reaction. I'll catch the replay. You already know what it is, Dewan. Dewan is great. Go see Dewan B on YouTube. Subscribe to my brother Dewan B, y'all. Black Americans, we need an opportunity. We need to take advantage of this. America just said we got a problem. We don't have the expertise. We don't have the workers that can fill these slots. Hello? When I was a kid, there was a show on called The Sweat Hole.
Welcome back, Cotter.
John Travolta was one of them. Freddie Boom Boom Washington. It was an annoying-ass guy. Arnold Horshack. Whenever the teacher asked a question, Mr. Carter, Horshack would be like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. He was annoying as hell with this, right? Well, that's the way we got to be. When they say, how we going to fill these jobs? How we going to fill these STEM jobs? All of us. I need Bakari Sellers. I need Angela Rye. I need Roland Martin. I need all the black people, and the white people too. We'll take y'all too. Simone Sanders and Michael Steele, and Abby Phillip and Don Lemon. I need all of y'all. Since y'all in front, since the media, since y'all been picked to be the spokesmembers, Clyburn, bring your ass too. Oh, come on now. I'm with Joe. You should pardon Trump. Well, you need to pardon my friend, sir, but get your old ass over here and let's work on this issue. All of you need to be as annoying as Arnold Horshack. When they say, how we going to fill these jobs, you need to be going, ooh, 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 ooh. D.L. Hughley, instead of caping for Kamala, cape for our babies. Cape for our babies the way you cape for Kamala. Luke Campbell, the way you were annoying as fuck to every black person who didn't see Kamala Harris as Sojourner Truth. I need you to be just as dogmatic, just as a pit bull for her. I need you to be the same way about our black babies, our black young people, our black students that could learn, that should be able in this rich ass country to be given a book, to be given training, to go to academy, right? Where they're teaching them how to become the engineers of tomorrow. And maybe it exists, but I want them to put some nitroglycerin in the gas tank. I want them to turbocharge that incentive, to turbocharge those programs. That's right. Look, if we're gonna disagree on all these issues, the way that you were fighting for the Palestinians, Malcolm, Hill, Dr. Hill, the way you were jumping out the gym on those issues, who else? Everybody. Breonna Joy Gray. The way you and Mark Lamont here were jumping out the gym for Palestinians, I want you to jump out the gym for black young people in STEM jobs to fill these positions that Elon Musk and Trump and Vivek are talking about. The same way y'all will run it out with your hair on fire for everybody else's issues. I need you to do the same thing here. That seems reasonable. What's the problem? No incentives? Well, let's do it. All right.